Do a lot of people just see it's like, look, this is a sure thing. We're going to make.
It's just a green market. They're like, oh, it's like gold.
Right.
And people will just buy a grow room and not know anything about growing and buy the top of the line equipment.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything about it, but they think it's top of the line, so it's the best. But, I know people with a bedroom in a house that grows amazing over anyone with like a high-tech warehouse.
Right.
So it's just about the plant.
Hey, yo, we put free money where the mic is. He got it on lock like Rikers. Green rebates get you paid, so a lot of people like us. Money Talks Podcast, watch it on all your devices. Woo!
Welcome back to the Money Talks Podcast. This is the first in-person interview I've done in a while, and I'm nervous because I'm actually talking to a professional podcaster. I was reading your bio. I mean, you got radio roots back, 20 years ago, working on LA radio stations. So this is Adam Ill. This is one of the OG, one of the original weed personalities. I mean, there's a lot of people who try to be weed personalities. There's a lot of unoriginal people these days, but Adam Ill, and we're going to talk about that. But Adam Ill, his roots go deep. Thank you so much. I mean, you have the longest running weed podcast in the world, right?
I started in 2009, so it's probably one of the first. But it's still going. I'm still podcasting, so yeah.
That's crazy. So before we get into like your backstory, what was the podcast game like in 2009? I mean, people didn't even know that.
Non-existent.
So were you uploading them to like Apple? Where were you uploading?
There was an ISS feed that you used to upload them, and that would live on this server. And then from there, you would distribute it to like Apple, like the Apple, because Apple was the only one doing podcasts back then. Before like Spotify and Amazon and Google and all them started getting into it.
And that's before Joe Rogan even uploaded.
Yeah. It was like around the same. He was early too, like Adam Carolla and all them. Yeah. We were.
Mark Maron was one of the original guys.
One of the first. I'm just a regular dude from the Valley, so I wasn't like a celebrity or had like a background. I was just some kid who smoked weed.
Yeah.
And I worked in radio for like a decade, so I took what I learned from radio and I did a lot of marketing, like street team, brand ambassador for the station, and I learned that like radio is a business and how you can monetize off of it. So when the radio station I worked at flipped formats from talk radio to a pop radio, they kind of didn't need use of like a stoner for 11-year-old demographic.
Right.
So podcasting started, and one of the board ops started his own like podcast page, like radio station out of his studio apartment in North Hollywood. And I was just like, I'm going to do weed talk because I like weed and I had a passion for it. And it was like super taboo back then.
Right.
It was very illegal. No one was really open about the consumption and everyone was scared. But, I was a delicate dude from the Valley that didn't give a Can we cuss on here?
Yeah, you could say, you could totally
I didn't really
swear.
care about anything, so I was like, let me just talk about the lifestyle and culture. And I was a bud tender back then when it started, so like I had the inside scoop on a lot of LA stuff happening, so I just put it out there.
Interesting. So this is what, 2009 when you had your first podcast. Who was your first ever guest?
So the first podcast I did was kind of like a pilot podcast. It was me and another member of the street team who was another stoner. Then we just like smoking weed, and we had the board op. So it wasn't really a guest. It was more like, let's just smoke weed and talk about it.
Right.
Because we didn't really know what we were going to do, and there was like no kind of game plan. Just let's record ourselves smoking. And I brought all my smoking accessories that I had, the bongs, the pipes, the vaporizers, the blunts, everything. And we just started smoking and talking about cannabis.
Yeah.
But the first official guest? Damn, that's a good question. I got to look back in the archives.
Dang, because you've had a lot of guests. I mean, how many people have you interviewed, would you say, over the years?
Hundreds.
Wow.
Hundreds.
Wow. So
rappers, actors, politicians, growers, lawyers, doctors, attorneys, hash maker, just anybody who smokes weed, and that's basically everybody.
This guy's contact list is insane. I don't want to drop names, but he texts some people that leave me starstruck, and I'm like, I want proof that you're actually texting that dude. But are you surprised? Because you know more than anyone, like, how many people actually consume cannabis, and like, were you surprised back then? Because you have like, on one end you have the commercials, the Just Say No, the Dare, but then on the other end you have like regular successful people consuming cannabis.
Yeah, I think when I started like selling weed, I started learning that the stereotype of the stoner wasn't real because everyone consumes. It could be like the cashier at your grocery store. It could be your parents' coworker. It could be the person at, like, everybody consumes cannabis. Now a lot more people are open because it's more socially accepted, but back then it was still kind of like secret. If you knew, you knew type of thing.
Right. So what was like the way to purchase weed back then? I mean, you were the guy who sold it, but like...
I still needed to get it too.
Yeah. So like where... Because there's just hilarious stories of like in my small town, you had to befriend like the sketchiest dude and pretend to be friends with him because I was the only guy who sold weed.
Yeah, basically, it's just finding people that smoke weed and learning where they get their weed from, and hoping they trust you enough to get introduced to their plug so you could get it. And it was like random parking lot meetups, or come over to my sketchy apartment, or pretend you're my friend and meet my parents type of shit. Yeah. I mean, I started smoking at like early teenager. So
got it. Like 13, 14.
Yeah, bar mitzvah.
Wow, that's a great place to be high. I was just watching the Entourage episode where Turtle was smoking weed, and then they. But so how do you put yourself out there in 2009? This is pre-Instagram, and this is before everyone like had their own brand.
I had like MySpace,
days. Okay,
and Facebook-ish.
Got it.
And it was just there was like forums, there were like weed forums that were out there. There wasn't really many platforms that you could put yourself on, but there was a program called Stickam. I don't know if you know what Stickam is, which is basically Twitch now, but it was a streaming service where you could share your stream with other streamers and you could have their cameras up as well. So it's like a virtual sesh. So we turned into like a virtual smoke sesh. So I would have a live show with a live audience on Stickam and they could watch it.
Wow.
As well. And then I would make like YouTube videos. I had like my friend, who was a customer. I knew a lot of people because I sold weed.
Yeah.
So I took all my connections and tried to utilize them within my show. So I had a customer who would buy weed, but he was also a filmographer, editor, video guy.
Yeah.
So he would videotape our podcast and then cut it into like a 2-minute clip.
Wow.
And we would just post it on YouTube. And this is like 2009, 10.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
no one was doing YouTube back then.
Yeah. Well, for weed at least, it wasn't as regular as it is now.
Right.
Now people want to grow up to be a weed tuber, which I find hilarious.
I know. And well, even like everyone wants to be their own brand. Everyone, whether they admit it or not, has like the thought of like going viral and putting themselves out there. They see how much money you can make. But back then you didn't really see the opportunities. So like, was it, you were kind of like a pioneer in that sense. So, and you didn't really have people before you to learn from it because YouTube started in 2006. So were you just kind of learning as you went?
Just creating. I was just doing what I love and what I had a passion for. And there was a lot of there was a lot of uneducated people about the cannabis plant.
Right.
And there was a lot of negative stigma and stereotypes. And I just wanted to change the perspective people had on it.
Right.
I wasn't doing all the political shit because I feel that's boring. I was doing more like lifestyle things, and I was trying to highlight successful people and talk about my personal stories and breaking like that lazy stereotype because I was a hustler, bro. I was working so many jobs. I was eager to do a lot of things, and cannabis wasn't really stopping me or slowing me down. It was just kind of helping me grow and expand my network because me being open about cannabis kind of had more people be more open with it as well and not be so shy because I was out here just giving no Fs.
Yeah. Did you get a lot of messages or like emails from people just like trying to pick your brain like, hey, man, I want to start smoking weed, but I don't know where to start? Because a lot of people worry about having panic attacks. And did you kind of take like on an educational role for people back then?
I was learning too. I'm still not an expert. I think we're always learning every day. But I would just speak from experience and just let them know what I dealt with and how I handled situations and, just told people to be open and honest because the worst thing someone's going to say is like, no, don't do it or you're going to get nowhere in life. And then that's just more fuel to get you to want to be more successful.
Right. So
my whole life growing up, I was told I was going to be a loser and have nothing going for me from like family when they knew I was smoking weed. Like, oh, you're just a loser. You're getting high all the time. And then I started getting paid for smoking weed.
That's crazy.
I'm like, who's the loser now? And then they started asking me for weed. And I'm like, okay. Like, get the fuck out of here, you hypocrites.
That's crazy. So what was the LA cannabis scene like in, early decade, like 2010, 2011? That's when it was medicinally legal, right? So a lot of people had.
I became a medical patient in 2002 or 3.
Wow.
But I was already smoking weed, and I became a medical patient. And then when I went into like a weed shop, it was like a whole new world for me because I was just used to getting whatever my grower friend or whatever my plug friend got.
Right.
And I couldn't like question it. It was like, here's what I got this week. It's whatever. This is the purple or this is the kush or this is, and it wasn't like a variety. And I wasn't familiar with like all the different types of edibles because edibles to me was just like a brownie.
Yeah.
Or like, a cookie.
Right.
But then when you go into a weed shop, it's like everything's an edible and there's hundreds of strains that you start learning about and all the different effects and the different terpene profiles and the ways it grows. And then you start educating yourself. So back then it was, you needed a recommendation from a doctor.
Yeah.
So you had to find a doctor and then find a medical condition you had that he would believe to write your prescription. And then you would have to go, not a prescription, it was a recommendation. And then you had to go to a weed shop, and then they would call your doctor to verify you were one of their patients because there was a lot of counterfeiting going on with people just making fake recommendations. And then once you get approved, you just walk into the weed shop, and it was deli style. Mm-hmm. There wasn't like packaging. There wasn't brands. There wasn't like pretty shops. It was just like sketchy ass shit. They were mostly run by, either drug dealers or gang members or somebody that was business savvy, and you would just. There were top shelf, middle shelf, and bottom shelf. And it was like $25 eights, $30 eights, or $50 eights. Like, what do you want?
Dang. And what were the bud tenders like back then? Were they knowledgeable? Were they just like...
It was a mix, kind of like now. But now it's more... Now bud tenders are more like... I mean, we are essential into the industry, but anyone can be a bud tender. It's like working at the mall because everything is pre-weighed and pre-packaged and separated, like indicas, sativas, hybrids, edibles, joints, vapes, like everything's all separated. But back then, you either had hot girls that didn't know shit, but everybody was going to buy from them anyway because most of the customers were dudes. And then, or you'd have some knowledgeable people that understood the difference in the plants and the flavors and the terpenes. So, it was one extreme or the other.
And would you say it's still kind of a mixed bag? Because I went into a dispensary recently and I was very open about like my issue with cannabis, how like I really want to smoke more, but I don't want to freak out and think about, my dog dying or the fact that my parents are going to one day no longer be with me. It's just all the evil things. That's what weed would, but I had so many great memories. So I opened up to a bud tender and she actually introduced me to the perfect strain of weed. And now I'm like back to consuming cannabis again. So yeah, absolutely. It's very like low THC. After this, I'm down. I can't smoke the stuff you're smoking, but
why? It's just weed.
It's going to take years until I'm ready to smoke without a but I like, a really good bud tender is just underrated, and is it tough to find? I don't know because that lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. They're not all like. I mean, it's up to the person and the individual because it's easy to learn and it's easy to get familiar with products, but not everyone's super educated. A lot of people don't know about the endocannabinoid receptors and how it reacts to cannabis and the different terpene profiles and, why indicas are indicas and sativa, which is all BS, I think, the indica sativa thing, because cannabis responds differently to every single person.
Right.
Everybody has a different reaction to certain strains. So it's like just educating yourself and knowing what you like and what works for you.
So posting cannabis content on MySpace, was MySpace Tom, was he as big of a narc as Mark Zuckerberg?
No, because there wasn't a lot of it going on, and it wasn't as saturated as it is today.
Yeah, I guess you don't have the technology to say like, hey, it's flat.
Yeah, I don't think they had AI bots back then that can just screen everything and just be like, nope, you're done.
So what was the reaction when you're uploading cannabis content on MySpace? What's the reaction among your peers, among people you went to high school with, et cetera?
Oh, it was wild, man, because, I, fortunately enough, had a lot of access to cannabis, to grows. I was going to visit rooms. I was, had a bunch of bags, and it's not normal for people to see that much cannabis back then. It wasn't like like today, people can type in cannabis. You could see fields and warehouses and crops and bags, but back then it was just so it was so shocking to see, and people didn't realize how big the cannabis market industry was or could be. So it was a good time, and it was a lot easier to go viral for cannabis back then than it is today.
Really? Like you would just post a picture at a grow and then...
Yep.
What does going viral on MySpace even look like? Is that even...
Just, getting a bunch of... because you remember on MySpace, you had photo albums and you could only upload like a certain amount of photos per album. Remember they restricted you. You couldn't get I think it was like 12 pictures per album.
Yeah.
You could only have like 4 albums, so there wasn't a lot that you could post.
Wow.
It was just getting shared.
There were some viral...
There were viral MySpace stars,
There were Tila
Tequila, Jeffree Star.
Wow, you're right.
And the way you go viral, you just do things that people want to share with other people. And you go, have you heard of this person? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but MySpace transferred to Facebook, and then Facebook transferred to Instagram.
Right.
And then, X and Snapchat. Snapchat was huge at a moment, too.
For weed?
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of views.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
and then it started getting filled with, undercovers and feds and a lot of snitches and fake trappers, and then it just...
Yeah. Now Snapchat is just... sometimes I check it once every 3 months, and it's like... if you're still posting on Snapchat, what are you doing with your life?
But some people's audience is solely on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Some people are anti-X, some people hate Instagram. So
That's true.
Snapchat's still the way.
Yeah. So when do you start getting paid for cannabis, and in what forms are you getting paid to show up at events to promote different?
When I'm not selling it, just how am I starting to get paid?
As a personality.
When my podcast, I was getting hundreds of thousands of downloads back in the day because we were one of the only cannabis podcasts.
Yeah.
And once people learned about it, the numbers went up, and when you got views and people share, then brands and companies are like, oh, if I'm seeing this, and I know other people are seeing it. So, the way it started was because I come from radio, so I learned how to monetize using radio, like segments, commercials, presented by, brought to you by, because radio is just it's just basically advertising. What content can you create to have people wait throughout the commercials, or have people listen to this Mickey Ficky mix, the traffic jam is brought to you by Nissan, or this is brought to... So I learned to start doing that and using and doing call to action and figuring out what my ROI, my return on investment was. So I would go to a local dispensary on my way to the studio that was out here. In the Valley, we had hundreds of them. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I'm doing this podcast. I get this amount of viewers. Give me an eighth. Mm-hmm. I'll talk about your eighth on my show. Because back then, eighths to these shops were nothing. Yeah. And there was no advertising that these stores could do because it was illegal to buy billboards. No newspaper would take it. Radio stations wouldn't buy your advertising. There wasn't a lot of social media platforms to promote your business. So I had a podcast that was direct to the consumer. So I would go to the dispensary, give me an eighth. I'll talk about it, tell them where I got it, and I'll tell people if they want to try it, they can go into your shop. They'll just come in and say, what? Or mention my podcast and just give them 10% off or a free joint or whatever you want to do just to give them an incentive for coming in.
Right.
And it worked. A shop would get 10 new customers randomly. And they're like, yo, this shit's So then I started taking product and turning it to money because I can't pay my bills with weed.
Right.
Literal weed, but I could pay my bills doing advertisements. So, the free weed turned into money. And then I would get sponsorships. Brands would hit me up to promote their show. I would have campaigns going.
Nice.
And that's just everything I learned from radio and just, promoting because I was doing promotions the street team shit, where the radio station has a new campaign and then their radio station is going to be at that business in the parking lot giving out stickers or whatever. So I learned how to market and it's like a live commercial for a product. And I just learned what I did from radio. And since I was street team, I worked with the sales team who sold the advertisement, and I worked with the advertiser who bought the sale. Because I was a street team, so I had to do what the salesperson was telling me, and I had to make sure the client was happy. Right. So I was the one executing the deal. And then I just took all what I did and applied it to my own show.
Nice.
And started monetizing off it. Created a one-sheet, 30-second commercial, a minute commercial brought to you by Lower Third, and just started adding all the ways we could monetize on it.
Wow.
No
So
chill.
you were like the CEO of your own company at a young age.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was just
But that's
hustling.
That's ingenious though. And like you don't, because like I said before, now everyone like understands like you're your own PR person. But back then, you know, you're doing your own marketing,
production,
sales,
engineering, sales,
on camera personality. Damn, that's a lot. So you've seen so many different phases of like weed culture and like as it pertains to social media. When was the moment where like everyone kind of wanted to be a weed personality? Was it?
I would say like 2000, I would say like 14, 15, 16. It started like the influencer thing started becoming a regular term that people started using, and I hated it. I'm like, I'm not trying to influence anyone. I'm just showcasing my life and showing people what I'm passionate about.
Right.
But that influencer term got brought up to me a lot. Like festivals started wanting to hire me to host their events. You know, brands were giving me thousands of dollars to wear their merch because my videos were getting a bunch of views. I'd be on stage in front of thousands of people.
Wow.
So like once people saw that, and you know, just not in cannabis, it was in all the industries. The influencers were the ones that were getting paid. Then it just became a title. And now you got second graders that want to grow up to be influencers.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. Don't. But no second graders should be watching this. But
I know. No. So and the thing with influencers, like if you're someone who calls yourself an influencer, that's pretty lame. But if that term is brought upon you, then you just it means you did something right.
I hate that term.
Yeah, influencer. I know. Social media. I remember when I was on MTV in 2017, I didn't know what the term meant. And then I got off the show, and then everyone was like, dude, you're an influencer now. And I was like, what does that word even mean? And we're like, we're all influencers, dude. And it's like, I'm not an influential person. I don't want that title.
Yeah, I don't want to try to influence anyone because, you know, with cannabis, it's real risky as well because you don't know who's watching you.
Right.
And you don't know, like, you know, I started learning I had like 14, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds watching me. And like their parents would reach out to me. I'm like, yo, like,
wow,
how is it my fault that your kids are watching me? Like, you need to do better parenting or put restrictions on or some shit. Which is why we
you got the Eminem type of.
But I'm just a regular dude from the valley.
Right.
I'm not like a super celebrity. I just, grew up at a great time and had my passions in cannabis and other things, and just highlighted it, showcased it to everyone because I wasn't ashamed. I was very fortunate and grateful to meet the late great Jack Hare, who really put a fire in my ass to, let people know that cannabis isn't as bad as people say it is.
Totally.
And I was just trying to edutain people.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it's still, there's still a lot of people fighting the good fight, but it's sad how, because I'm dealing with this now that I work in kind of like a cannabis adjacent marketing role, and I learn like, I just want to help, spread stories, interview people like you, get the word out. But they make it impossible because of all the restrictions on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
And how many times have you got your account deleted?
On Instagram, I like 31 accounts. Yeah.
And you don't like what do you post exactly? You're not posting videos of fights or anything violent.
Just me, my life, just cannabis consumption, events I go to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it could be people that are envious of the position or the career I created. It could be the terms of service, but at the same time I see other people posting the same type of content, but nothing's going on with them.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's why I quit social media.
Tell me about quitting social media, because you've been on social media. Social media has kind of like been your job since MySpace. Like,
yeah, I didn't know it was gonna pay me. It was just like a platform to just post things and stay in touch with friends or make new friends and share things with like-minded individuals. But I learned how to monetize off of it, and I learned how to use it to expand my brand and meet new people and reach out to guests that I like, because I host podcasts too. So like, yo, you're interesting. Come on my show. I want to learn about you. You smoke weed.
Right.
Let's get high and learn shit. And, it became like a necessary evil for us. And what Meta did is kind of crazy is they just gave it to everyone for free. and gave it to everyone so we all get addicted and made it like a part of our life. And they would make people's endorphins go crazy by likes and hearts and comments and helping them go viral. And then they realize, the whole world is on it. Now it's fucking make money.
Right.
And they just turned it from social media to business media. And now
so
if you want
crazy.
any type of play or any type of virality or any type to be seen, it's a pay for play.
Yeah.
And you could see they're like, oh, subscribe to our service, and this video can be seen by this many people. But if you pay this much, we'll show it to this many people. It's like, why can't my shit just organically be shown to people?
I know.
And it's just kind of gross.
Paying for the blue check, that was the moment social media died for me.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's all up about like freedom of speech, and it's great because you could say whatever you want, but freedom of speech is great to have, but freedom of reach is non-existent on there because they want you to pay for people to see what you have to say. And sometimes the stupidest people, the people with the wildest opinions or viewpoints, are the ones that get put on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is everyone listening to this? This is not healthy. This fool is speaking some crazy shit. And, generate after a couple years of all of that. Look where we're at.
Yeah, like, what do you think these kids that are raised on social media, like literally 8-year-old, 9-year-old, watching David Dobrik, Logan Paul, growing up on that, just know their parents are like, whatever. Like, because a lot of parents is like, this is making my job easy.
Yeah,
my kid's just on a screen his whole childhood. He's eating junk food and he's watching Instagram reels, and I'm just drinking wine, doing my own thing. My life is good. But like, what do you think what's Gen Alpha or even like Gen?
Horrible. You see what these kids are doing now for views and like what they're trying to do. They're like going further and further and being worse and worse people just so they could get that reaction from people. You're either going to get like a hateful reaction, which is what everyone loves. The more negative you are, the more viral you get. Or it's either you got to create some type of emotion from someone for them to engage, and most of it is rage baiting.
Yeah,
because everyone, when they get mad, they have to say something. You could look at something cute, you could look at puppies and be like, "Oh, that's cute," but you'll swipe. Yeah. But if someone says some outlandish shit, then you're gonna start getting in heated battles, and that's gonna be the engagement. That's gonna go to the front because it's what's trending.
Right.
And it's like that's what they're forcing on people, and now you got kids, instead of going outside to light fireworks, they're like, let's stream and light them inside the house and see what happens. You're like, yo, this is the stupidest thing. Obviously, you guys weren't raised with any common sense.
Oh, my God, I know. Yeah, no one is out just playing on the streets. Like, we live, we're neighbors, and like it's rare to, like, when we're walking down the neighborhood to see like kids playing basketball outside or playing tag. For me, it was like during the summer I would get kicked out of the house and I wasn't allowed to be inside.
Hide and go seek, all that. Hide and go get it, whatever the games we wanted to play.
Right, go play. My mom just would be. I mean, we didn't have cell phones. They'd be like, just come home by dark. Yeah. We'd get into a lot of trouble, but like, and it was like back then it was like it took a village to raise kids. Yeah. Like if it wasn't my mom raising me, it was my neighbor's mom raising me. Now everyone's a goddamn helicopter parent, so they're keeping them inside. But like the shit that they're seeing on their phone is way worse than the shit they'd experience on the streets.
I mean, you knew where everyone was at because all the bikes were in front of the house. Everyone would ride bicycles to Timmy's house, and everyone's like, "Oh, Timmy's here. He got the whatever Nintendo. We're all at his house." Now everyone's at home, not going to touch the grass or go see the sun, and they're all streaming or playing against each other from their homes, which is great. Yeah. But at the same time, it's taken away from, them seeing the sun.
It's so sad because like that's for a lot of these influencers, the 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, like that's kind of like their target audience. Those are the people who have the most time to like be on their phone, and that's how they're making their money. So they're making their money by like ruining someone's childhood, by giving someone like a
and it's like as a 40-year-old, which 13, 14, 50-year-old kids going to watch a 40-year-old create content.
Right.
It's a little bit more mature. We're not as dumb and out. And our peers aren't at home watching streams all day. They're fucking out working, trying to make money, pay the bills. True. So it's like, if you don't have that young, and that's why it's like gross to me that a lot of these adult creators are like trying to get the kid audience. It's like, yo, that's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's creepy.
It's weird.
I know, man.
Like if this is real life, like you're 37 hanging out with 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, is that right? Like it's wrong.
I know.
So, and now you're like streaming to these like 15 or 16-year-olds.
It's crazy because when I remember when the advent of like when we all had the family computer with dial-up and we had our MySpace page, Friendster or whatever, AOL chat rooms, but I like had a harsh limit, like 1 hour a day, if that.
But it would be whatever free minutes we had from the CD that came in the mail. You get 30 minutes free. Like, all right, I'm on for 30 minutes.
Right.
Until, if you were lucky enough to pay.
Yeah. And then, like, it went from like 30 minutes to an hour a day to now it's literally 24/7. I mean, the screen time that these kids have.
I am so happy with my screen time right now.
What is it, like 4 hours?
Less.
Wow.
Less. And the most of my time spent, because you can see it by app, is like text messages.
Wow.
That's like it's like 25 minutes. And then everything else is less than that.
That's crazy.
I love it. My mental health is great. I'm chilling. I'm doing a lot more things I enjoy in real life,
Yeah.
It's good.
I know. You're like...
no more doom scrolling.
Seriously. And it's just messed up that you have people that are making millions of dollars and their sole job is to just get kids addicted to their phones. Create bad habits for the youth.
It's just, X pays you per tweet if you subscribe, and then based on your views and your comments, you get paid.
Right.
Based on the engagement. So people will say the craziest shit just so they could get those views and those comments. And it's just fucked for people in their mental health.
It's messed up because you get rewarded for it. Like if someone does do rage bait content and they make a lot of money, then they still, when they're at the family function, they're like, dude, I'm just trying to make a paycheck like everyone else. My job, this is what pays me. So, but it's like, it's a rough time to.
It's whack.
Because you have that, but then you have we also learn how terrible some of these corporate jobs are. So.
Whack. I mean, there's pros to it, of course, but I feel like the cons outweigh the pros because the way humans are utilizing the platforms and the technology is just for the worse and not the better.
Yeah, totally.
Majority. I'm sure there's people out there creating great things with the technology and with the platforms, but most of the people, most of the consumers are.
Yeah. It's just really sad. I mean, it's so sad. I'm sure you see it as someone who doesn't spend a lot of time on their phone. The saddest thing is just like going out in public and eating and just seeing people with their friends. Like when you're eating food together, that's like an intimate time. That's when you're supposed to be really breaking bread and connecting. Yeah, that's like that. Those are sacred moments that are just being destroyed.
It's frustrating for me now because I don't get on my phone. I try not to look at it at all.
Yeah.
And when I am out with my friends or I am doing something like. I'll just be chilling. We'll be talking. Then the next thing I know, everyone's just on their phone again, like automatically.
Yeah.
Like we're in the middle of a conversation and they're just like looking. I'm like, yeah, this is gross.
Yeah.
Like we're chilling, real life. Why you got to look at the phone?
I know.
Like, what's so important that on that phone that won't be there when you pick it up again?
That's the thing. They just create this sense of urgency. They give you FOMO. Every time you don't look at your phone for 3 minutes, you're thinking, wait, there might be a news story. There might be a hilarious tweet. There might be a thirst trap that I missed out on. And then it's creepy when you're like the first person to see someone's Instagram story. Like
you don't want to be
seconds.
the first. Yeah. Like, oh, gross, weird.
So who would you say the coolest or maybe top 5 coolest people you've ever smoked weed with? Because you've got a very impressive list.
E-Money.
Did we even smoke? I don't think we smoked weed together.
It just sounds good. I'm a professional. I mean, I've smoked with a lot of people. I've had a lot of amazing experiences all around the world. Cannabis has taken me to many countries and many states. Unfortunately, my memory's not the best. So, one of the names that comes to mind right now immediately that I really enjoyed getting high with and had a good time was Sid Wilson from Slipknot.
Oh, wow.
He was, a cool-ass dude, real chill, just funny as fuck. We're completely different people. He's like super hardcore, crazy. I'm just like a delicate dude from the valley. But, when we chill, it's fucking a great time. I'm not going to name drop, actually.
Yeah, we don't need to
I get high with a lot of people.
Yeah.
5 is a lot of people. I mean, smoking with Snoop Dogg.
Wow.
It's cool because it's Snoop Dogg.
Right.
I'm like, oh, damn, this is like one of the legends. This is what everyone talks about, this bucket list shit. But, it's just like smoking with anyone else.
Right.
It's just, I couldn't really say someone specifically. I've smoked with, you're excited because Yuck Mouth. I've gotten high with Yuck Mouth, which was great. I've smoked with E40.
Wow.
You know, like there's some Bay Area legends I've gotten high. There's some LA legends I've gotten high with.
Well, it's cool because, you know, as someone who's kind of in that rap world, you can't go to like a studio session without blunt smoke. Is like, where are you? Are we in church right now? What's going on? It's just cannabis and rap. It's like a perfect marriage. Right. So have you kind of ingratiated yourself into the, you know, the rap community? I know you're a rapper yourself. You do that on the
I
side.
make $72 on my album. I'm a paid rapper now.
That's better than like 99% of people.
I mean, I think, you know, cannabis and hip hop it's like milk and cereal.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand. So, you know, I've been able to meet a lot of rappers and hang out with rappers, sell to rappers, get high with rappers.
Man.
I think getting high with Redman was probably a fun-ass moment in my life because he was driving the shuttle bus we were on because he's just a crazy-ass dude like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, Redman was cool as fuck.
Such a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a funny-ass dude.
He was at MJ Biz last year, actually.
Yeah, probably. I mean, David Faustino's chill. I don't know if I could say that because I don't know if, well, I mean, I don't think he was under contract with Disney back then. But you know David Faustino? No. You know Married with Children? Bud Bundy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him?
He's chill as fuck, yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
He was chill as,
Why? So, like, so many artists, like, you know, they smoke weed while creating. Why do you think why do you think, you know, cannabis creates such amazing music or just helps create such amazing music?
I mean, you know, with anyone's experience with cannabis, it just kind of gives you a little bit more creativity. You just kind of, you know, gives you more, it's more carefree.
Yeah.
You know, really, it's like being drunk, but not being so belligerent, just being so sloppy.
Maybe not overthinking what you're writing.
Yeah,
and
just, you know, opening up some other brain waves that you don't usually have access to.
Right.
It just kind of gives you more freedom.
Yeah, it just unlocks something in your brain. I mean, I think alcohol is the worst drug to create on. I don't know how people get drunk and then make music. I just want to go. I mean, back when I was single, I just would be like, let's just go to the bars and hit on girls. What are we doing in this room with 3 dudes making music? You know, but weed is just like 6 hours go by and you're like,
yeah, I mean, some of the best people in the world, some of the best inventors, the best athletes, the best musicians, the smartest people, the most, you know, the funniest comedians, like, they all use cannabis.
Yeah. How do you feel about people who don't really have a love or a passion for the plant trying to weasel their way into cannabis?
Like culture vultures?
Yeah, exactly. Have you experienced, because I feel like I'm sure you have experienced a lot of them, but like what's your take on them, and have you come across a lot of those folks?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's inevitable. Any industry is going to have the vultures that are just trying to monetize off certain niche industry, and you know, they learn fast that, you know, this is a culture, it's a community, it's a business, but if you don't have a grasp on the culture, your customers, then you're not going to survive. And you could see that happening with a lot of these fucking brands who've gotten hundreds of millions of dollars of investment. They've gotten, you know, so much money, and they open, and then within 6 months they're out.
Yeah,
because they just overspend. They don't understand what's going on. They think they know, but what was that MTV line? You think you know? You have no idea.
Yeah, the behind the music,
or whatever.
Britney
True
Spears.
Life or whatever it is.
I think.
You think you know? You have no idea. Yeah, it's just they just see the numbers, and it happens all the time with like big corporations that try to grow weed. They don't care about what they're growing. They just look at the numbers. Like what's going to yield the most? What's going to test the highest? What's going to be the most bang for our buck? But the consumer is not going to want to smoke that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's why I don't care what the percentage is. If it doesn't taste good, or look good, or smoke good, we're not going to hit it. And, you know, that's just what it is. And they just try to rush the process. Everything's machine made. You know, they grow with machines, they trim with machines, they package with machines, and you could just tell there's no love in it.
Is there something that the consumer's missing right now? That are there areas where consumers are unsatisfied?
I mean, I think everything gets hit, but I feel like there should be more quality cannabis at affordable prices. I feel like a lot of brands just try to put their product at a higher budget thinking that it'll sell because of the price range. And people get upset because they'll buy a thing and it's good and realize it's whack. And I'm sure it's in any industry, when the wine industry and the tobacco industry, the food industry, like people just put a number up thinking that that's what they're worth. And when in reality, you know, you're just going to suck.
How are people, I mean, are most people doing edibles these days? Like what methods are people using to consume?
I sell a lot of pre-rolls and all-in-one vapes. Those are like the top two. It's just convenient and easy and quick and instant. And a lot of people just want instant gratification. They just want now. What can I do now? You know. And then, you know, flowers are great, but it's mostly pre-rolls and all-in-ones and then edibles. Like a lot of the older generation, they like the edibles, and a lot of the younger kids like edibles as well.
Right. And you're someone who is you're living proof that stoners aren't lazy. You had a moment where you ran an LA marathon with a blunt in your mouth. Tell me that.
More than a blunt, but yeah. I consume cannabis the whole route. That's blunts, crazy. Joints, bongs, dabs, like whatever. I had my people pass me while I was running.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was like a bucket list. I always wanted to run the marathon, but I hate running, and I never ran. And it so happened to be on my birthday, on my 40th birthday. So I was like, yo, what better 40th birthday than to run a marathon and smoke weed? And I mean, I'm not the one to like change that stereotype. We have, you know, Olympic athletes and professional athletes who come out and say that they smoke weed. I'm just a regular dude who did it. But the stereotype of us being lazy is kind of whack. And I know a lot of people who consume cannabis that are hustlers, multiple jobs. They're out here creating, inventing, living. So, yeah.
So why do you think they were pushing this narrative that marijuana is the devil when it's been proven like otherwise? It's helped so many more people than it's hurt.
It's just political. It was the reefer madness propaganda. They, you know, when you have one of the richest dudes who owns a media company who's friends with the head of the drug administration, and then the dude who has a media company has a lot of trees on his property and wants to chop it down. So, you know, he just prints a bunch and says how bad hemp is because, you know, everything used to be written on hemp paper before it was wood pulp. And, you know, you had private jails that they wanted to fill up with nonviolent criminals so they could make their money and all that. Yeah, it's just like a lot of politics and bullshit. That's why they would push all these stereotypes. And you have that reefer madness generation that thinks weed is bad and everyone's horrible. And stoners, you know, go out and cause violence.
Yeah.
In reality, you know, none of that. I mean, bad people are bad people.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the government. You know, I blame William Hersted Anslinger.
That was the guy the first guy who made it illegal in the early 1900s?
Hearst was a rich guy, and Anslinger was a guy who made it illegal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were trying to push aspirin, and it's always been like, I feel like their main motive is like trying to push
pharmaceuticals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because more people would rather, you know, instead of going to happy hour and buying a drink, they go to happy hour and smoke a joint. You know, a lot more people would rather do that instead, but it's illegal technically.
Yeah, it's wild.
And all companies have a lot of money, so they can lobby things.
Yeah.
And the weed people can't really get their heads together because there's way too many egos in the weed industry.
Hey, do you think that's one of the things that's holding it back?
Hell yeah.
Really? Let's talk about that then.
Everyone got egos. Everyone wants to be the best. Everyone wants to be the first. Everyone thinks their shit's better than everyone else's. It's not like the community's gone. Now it's an industry.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of clowns involved now, so it's like a circus industry. And, you know, no one really wants to kind of unify. Everyone just wants to be that person. I'm the one that did it. It's me.
Right.
And it's kind of whack.
That's really interesting because, like, you know, when I talk to people, maybe it's people bluffing but like a lot of people I talk to, it's like, it's all about community. If we can't grow together.
Buzzwords.
Yeah.
It's BS buzzwords, bro.
That's really sad. When did that change? Because was it more about
legalization? It changed. When Prop 2, this is at least in California, when Prop 215 turned into 64 and it became a business, people started snitching each other out, ratting each other, saying they were the first, stealing genetics, growing certain strains, saying it was theirs when they got it from someone else.
Wow.
Not giving credit to the people that created things. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit.
Damn.
That's also why I quit. Like, all this is, I've been in the industry for many, many years, and, people just be lying out there. It's just gross.
So what advice do you have for someone who I've been in the industry now for just a couple months and I'm just trying to make it, What advice do you have to me?
What are you trying to do in the industry?
I'm just more like marketing, content creation.
I would say be true to yourself. Like, not all money is good money. Stay true, because not everyone's good out there. Don't burn bridges, though, because the industry is really small, as you probably learned. Everyone knows everyone. Be consistent with what you do and who you are, and stay original. I mean,
Right.
Don't chase trends, because, if you come in chasing a trend, trends don't live forever. That's why it's a trend, and you'll just go down with the trend.
True.
And I feel something that gave me longevity is that I am true to who I am, and I don't give a fuck what's trending. I don't care what people are saying. I know what I like, and I'll stick to what I like, and I'm true about how I feel, and I'll express my feelings, and people know what they get from me. It's no wishy-washy bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell you who I like, who I don't like, how I feel, and I get so much shit for smoking blunts because that's my favorite. People think it's so gross, but I know what I like, and I'm not going to chase a trend because everyone right now is like dabbing or hitting vapes. Like, yeah, I'll smoke that too, but my preference is what I like, and I'm going to stick to what I like and not follow you guys.
Interesting. So where do most people go wrong? Like people who do like crash and burn and fail, because a lot of people have done that. A lot of people have lost millions of dollars in this industry. What do you think? Where do they go wrong?
Mismanagement of their finances, just spending money where they shouldn't, just putting money where it doesn't belong. I mean, I know it's like these hundreds of millions of dollars brands that would just come out, run by Chad and Brad. They would get exquisite dinners and fly private places and get like the best rooms at the hotels and do these big old marketing like booth campaigns. And it's like not like, why are you spending $150,000 on an event that's not going to get you any of that in return?
Right.
People are going to see your booth, be like, oh, wow, cool, look, it's nice. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you bringing to the industry?
Or the people who pay like the models $500
a day just so they could try to get their dick wet because they're the CEO. Like, it's just this mismanagement of funds, and they just get a bunch of suckers that just throw money at them, and it's not their money, so they don't give a fuck.
Right, and then they're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
And people don't pay back their bills, and now that it's legal, you can take them to court, and it's lawyer fees, and it's time, and a lot of people can't advance their business if they're in litigation with a certain company, so it just drains.
It's
drains
crazy
and drains.
that, like, you'd think that someone who has the money to invest, millions into cannabis, they would have some business acumen. Do a lot of people just see cannabis like, look, this is a sure thing. We're gonna make.
It's the green market. They're like, oh, it's like gold.
Right.
And people will just buy a grow room and not know anything about growing and buy the top of the line equipment.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything about it, but they think it's top of the line, so it's the best. But, I know people with a bedroom in a house that grows amazing weed over anyone with like a high-tech warehouse.
Right.
So it's just about the plant. Bottom line, it's about the plant. And if you produce something that people like, it doesn't matter what your brand is because people are going to get it.
Yeah.
That's why I said good, affordable cannabis is like what's killing it. Because when people come in to the shop, you have like the, high-end, heady boys, that 1% that will spend $75, $80 on an eighth because of the brand or because they want to, spoil themselves. But the majority of the motherfuckers are buying like the $15, $20, $30 eights, They just want more bang for their buck.
Right.
And if it's good, you got a customer for life.
Because the difference in quality between, I don't know, you could speak to this, between like a $30 eighth and a $70 eighth, is it that drastic? Is it
twice? Some $70 eighths should be $30 an eighth. I mean, it just depends on like what you like and what strain you're into and how it's grown. And, a lot of people chase buzzwords and they chase, what they think is trending, but it's not good weed.
Right. Definitely not.
But there is a difference, like, between, the environments of indoor and outdoor and what medium they're using. Is it like living soil? Is it cocoa? Is it rock wool? What kind of water are they using? What strains are they using? What's the process? How are they trimming it? What's the cure? Curing your weed is huge because when you smoke it, how does it smoke? How does it taste?
Yeah.
Is there a lot of resin in it? Does it taste like hay? Does it taste like candy? Like, there's a lot of factors that go into good cannabis.
Have you ever thought about writing a book? Because I feel like you're at the perfect time right now, just with your stories, how
Hey, ChatGPT, write a book as Adam Ill. No, I'm just playing.
No, I feel like a lot of people would buy that book. Have you ever thought about that? Writing a book or an autobiography?
I mean, people have brought up writing book or like doing a little film because I created a lot of things in the LA scene. But this takes a lot of time and I haven't really done it, no.
Yeah,
Like a coffee table book of stories with people I got, famous people I got high with.
That'd be sick.
That was like an idea someone wanted me to do, or just
one of these days. You got a lot of time.
someone wants me to do like a documentary on my life with the weed scene and like what I've done and where I've been.
Produce it. I've edited documentaries. You let me know. I will get behind that. I will work on that.
I mean, I created one of the longest, best, most copied events in the world, with the sessions I did every Sunday. For 10 years, I would do like a farmer's market for weed, but it was more than just a farmer's market because I would bring, like, I'd have a DJ and it's like a club vibe. It was like a party vibe, and I would have special guests come to perform and we'd have like 30 to 40 vendors there just selling product. Wow. It was just open. Anyone with a rec or over 21 can come in. So we were just like open market cannabis scene. And that sesh vibe that we created is now replicated all over the world. Wow. Like that template.
How does that feel? Like, how does that feel seeing so many people copy your ideas?
It's bittersweet. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, it's great that, we've created something that, everyone is doing now, or, people got inspired to do their own. But, I'm not getting paid from all of them.
Yeah, I know you're not getting royalties. It's
no royalties on it.
It's not like music where like you create a riff and then if someone steals you or samples it, you're getting. It's so wild. So I got a couple more questions before we wrap. I don't know how long we've been going.
Good. I'm chilling.
Oh man, almost an hour. That's crazy.
I talk a lot.
No, it's good. This has been. I've learned a lot, and I feel like we've been friends for a while, but this is our most like intimate conversation.
Even more than when you were on my podcast. Well, that was all about you, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I was on your podcast. I just wanted to ask you all the questions, and you kept deflecting, saying, "No, it ain't about me.
It's not about me. It's about you, bro." Everyone knows all this shit about me. That listens,
I know,
at least.
it's true. So, as someone from the Bay Area, and I remember when I first started coming to LA in 2013 or 2012, 2013, and my friends who had the medicinal cards, the first thing they wanted to do was to go to the weed shops, and they would have to wait sometimes an hour, and it was like,
what? Where the fuck are they going?
I don't even know, but
an hour. That's gross.
Yeah, but they apparently like the LA had way better.
We did. We still do. Yeah.
Than the Bay. So, what do you spent a lot of time in the Bay Area? How different is like the cannabis scene in the Bay Area versus LA?
It's same but different. It's just like different flavor profiles that people like up there than down here. Like, it used to be LA was like the OGs. It was the gassy shit. We had like the Kushes. And then North had all like the sweet, the candies, the cookies, the sherbets and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
The blueberry, fruity, that makes sense.
They had more like the creamy fruit. And then if you went even more north to like Oregon or Washington, they had like the shishka berries and like the crazy like fruity strains.
Yeah.
Like the Bay Area was more like desserts, like creamy cookies. We were gas and they were like super fruits, and now it's just like everything is everywhere.
How about like the people in the scene, the Bay versus LA?
I mean, but it's different because in the Bay you also got like all the hippies from the Emerald Triangle, like up north, all the barefoot bandits that would grow in the mountains. They were more like hippie vibes, and LA was more like warehouse and houses, and we were just grow in different whatever suburban settings we could get.
Right.
Whereas the North was more like outdoor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the people are the people. It's in anything like weed, like rap, like fashion, same shit.
Right. So what's I mean, you've been in the game for 20 plus years.
Fuck.
Not trying to age you. I mean, that's an accomplishment, is what I'm saying. So where do you see what's next for you? I mean, you've already lived so many different lives. I feel like what's your next life?
That's what a golf.
Are you in your retired era right now?
No, because living in LA is super expensive. So even if you retire, you still need another source of income.
Right.
I still have a passion for like content and, entertaining and making people laugh. I'm just kind of burnt out from the cannabis scene. I mean, I love cannabis. It's still a part of my daily life. I still consume it. I still work in it. Mm-hmm. But I'm just trying to, just do what makes me happy. That's why I think I stepped away from social media and cannabis, because it was just a lot of ego, like dick swinging, ego checks and circle jerks, and everyone just clicky, and it was just gross. And you got this younger generation now. I don't know if I'm that old now, but these like newer kids. Every fucking day there's like a million 18-year-olds. Like every day there's a new 100,000 people are smoking weed. So
right.
So every day there's new people that are searching, Googling, and looking up stuff because they found a new culture, a new industry they like. Mm-hmm. So there's always going to be an audience there, but I'm just burnt out. No one's original anymore. Everything's just like regurgitated and recycled, and the people that are like getting the top views are just cringe, bro. To me, at least, I'm like, yo, why is this person like? I tried watching their content. It's whack. Is it because I'm old, or is it just because I've been there and done that and just seen it before and now it's like, yo, can you do something new and exciting?
Yeah, I mean, you like what you like. I don't, you get called a hater for that, but like.
You get called a hater if you have a different opinion than someone, which is whack as fuck too. Like, I like blunts. I like fucking hazes, and people think I'm whack because I smoke blunts still and I smoke hazes. And be like, oh, you smoke haze? That's so gross. Ew, who like? Motherfucker, I like hazes. Like, you like purple candy bullshit. You shop for percentages. Like, you're whack.
Right.
Like, you don't go to alcohol shop and be like, yo, what's the highest testing tequila? I need that 87%. No, because that shit's disgusting. So why are you coming to a weed shop saying, yo, what's the highest testing tequila? Like, lick a dick, bro. Those numbers are just marketed anyway. You could pay a lab to fucking inflate your numbers.
You can?
What? Yeah. That's been the biggest thing. I've been telling people. That's why I don't care what the percentage of my weed says. Because I know my weed will smack anybody who smokes it.
This needs to be your new era, is just talking shit.
I do, but then I'm a hater, and I get canceled, I get blocked, and people say I'm whack, and I'm lame, and oh, you're just bitter. Like, fuck you, dog. No, I'm just real.
We need that. There's too much there's too much positive reinforcement in the game right now.
Whack, dude.
We need to. You know who Skip Bayless is? You could be the Skip Bayless of the week.
I mean, I do. You've been on my podcast. I'm very opinionated, and I'm not ashamed of how I feel. But in this day and age, everyone's just sensitive, bro. Yeah. Everyone's just super sensitive. If you don't agree with them,
well, you do have balls to like say your like your unfiltered opinion and put your face behind it, because everyone else who like has their opinions like that, they don't.
They're trolls. They're just like a fake picture, fake profile. Like, I'm real, and I tell people like I'm a real person.
Yeah,
these are how I feel. If you I'm going to be here. This is the event I'm at. I'm hosting this event. If you come talk to me in person. Like, tell me who you are, because I want to know who you are hiding behind this keyboard. I have no shame with who I am. Right. I'm not ashamed with anything I do or say.
Do you get a lot of people like coming up to you at events saying like, yo, you said this to me on Twitter? Or
I had one person come in like all the years I've been doing. One person came up to me at one of the events. He goes, hey, I just want to let you told me to come talk to you in real life about this. Here. I'm like, bro, I appreciate your respect, at least, for coming up to me. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's all good. Whoop-de-whoop. He's like, all right, I just wanted to come and show you who I was. I was like, cool.
Boom.
That was it. And then he didn't do anything. He didn't say, it was just like, all right, cool. And then we just fucking respected each other.
Right.
And that's it.
That's the difference between a Twitter interaction versus a real life interaction.
Like,
you kind of just realize, like, wait, we're both humans and we actually don't hate each other.
I mean, what do you like? that's what I don't get. People be saying things right now without any consequences. Like when
Right.
I was growing up, if you said something disrespectful, immediate reaction.
Right.
Immediate. Now if you say something disrespectful, it becomes a fucking verbal vomit
Yeah.
in the comments, and then
You get rewarded for being disrespectful.
Yeah.
You used to get slapped in the face.
now you say the most racist, raunchiest,
God.
worst thing. And then you'll have and then like it also helps filter out who the trashy people are.
Yeah.
'Cause you're like, oh, this is how you feel. Oh, yeah, I'm cool. Thank you for saying that. Like,
Yeah.
bye.
And people are dumb because they need to realize that what you say on the internet lasts forever. I don't know if you watch Love Island or if you're caught up on the drama with Love Island, but there was like the star cast member who they dug up a Instagram story from 2 years ago where she said, I get Botox because sometimes my eyes get chinky, which is pretty derogatory.
Which is canceled now, yeah.
Yeah,
That's cancel
so
culture.
she got kicked out of the Love Island. She's getting death threats. I mean, it is like her parents had to release a statement, her friends. It is getting so dark for her. And at that point, I'm like, okay, look, she said, I don't think this woman hates Asian people. She said something very offensive, but it's just.
Maybe it's a good thing that my IG gets deleted 30 times. No, I'm just playing.
I know. Well, Adam, man, thank you
I'm
so
just
much. I
playing.
don't want to take up more of your time, but thank you
That's
so much
it?
for
We good?
hopping on with me. Yeah.
You got all the questions you needed? Anything else?
Well, we could do a part 2, part
If you
3.
need to. Yeah, see what your viewers say.
Yeah, we could. We're gonna come on. I'm just really appreciative. I know you're a very busy man, golfing and busy not being on Instagram.
Yeah.
Which you kind of feel like. I feel like your day when you're not on social media, your days feel longer, right?
No.
No. Oh. I
No,
thought that would be
I spend a lot more time with my dogs, just chilling and playing with them.
nice.
I just focus on things that I need to get done, just around the house. I've been cooking a lot more.
Love that.
I've, just been going outside, and I've been doing a lot more real life interactions. Like I've been going through my phone and hitting people up that I haven't maybe seen in a couple
Nice.
weeks, couple months. Like, hey, what's up? Just checking in. Hope all is
Yeah.
well. Like. Just so I don't have to give them the bullshit fake friend social media shit. Like
Yeah.
real contact. Like, hey, like tomorrow I'm gonna meet 2 of my boys that I haven't seen in like 4 years, maybe since before COVID.
Wow.
We just started talking again. I'm like, yo, let's just go get dinner and hang
Yeah.
out. So it's just like real life interactions and just creating more memories.
That's awesome.
Going out, going to museums.
I would say that you need to like what you're doing is so important, and
You
you
should
need
vlog
to,
it and
yeah,
tell people
exactly.
about it and post it. Be like, hey, I'm not on social media anymore. Here I am. I
Yeah.
thought about that too. And I'm like, yo, it's just this hypocritical shit. Like, hey, don't use this platform that I'm telling you watch me on.
Yeah, I know.
That's where I'm like,
Exactly, like we're being hypocrites because I'm talking to you. Well, not maybe you, but me. Like we're talking about the evils of social media, and I'm going to cut a few clips. And
but that's what you need to do these days, which is gross. It's like a
Yeah.
necessary evil. Like you have to do that
right.
to draw people to your show. Like, oh, you want to see more? Check out the full episode. Like, nah. And that's why, like, I don't do that with my podcast.
Yeah, you don't do the clips.
I stopped clickbaiting.
Yeah.
Like, clickbaiting is cool, but I feel like it takes away because that's all people are going to watch.
Right.
They're going to see that 15 seconds. Like, why do I need to watch the rest of the show?
It's very true, and I've learned as someone who like part of my job is to cut clips and then hope to drive traffic to the YouTube. It doesn't like I've got 10,000 views on one clip and maybe
189 on another.
no, but and then you'd think that like maybe a couple hundred of those people would go to the YouTube
Yeah,
and want to
no.
watch the full episode.
No
Nobody
one
did.
does.
No
one
one
does.
gave a crap.
There's-
So
unless you do like a call to action, no one cares. And that's why I'm like, yo, if you want to listen to my podcast, you just gotta listen to the whole thing. And I'll have like listeners
Make
or
the clips
viewers
for
that
you.
will make the clips.
Yeah,
like that's where I want to end up getting
that's
to
a
that
flex.
point where I'll have people creating clips for me.
Yeah,
I
like-
mean AI
like
can do it, but
Kai
it's
Cenat.
always whack. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it happens. Some creators will pay their fans like, yo, if you create clips and you get a certain amount of views, I'll give you like a $10 gift card or I'll
Yeah.
send you $20, which is great. But then you got to rely on your audience to do that shit.
in what ways has AI like helped you or made your life easier?
AI like ChatGPT,
Anything,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just a great tool to use just to learn about things or just to figure shit out. I mean, I've used it to learn about people. Like ask ChatGPT about certain people and like what their involvement is or what they've done. ChatGPT for like, I use AI for editing.
Yeah.
There's great AI editing clips out there.
Wow.
to write things. Like you just prompt it and it'll like, give you, I'm sure you've done all these things as well.
Yeah.
What's crazy right now though? That younger generation, the alpha or whatever, they're using AI to just do everything for them to send,
go through school.
Yeah, do their essays.
To text message their friends.
Or to text, like, they want to break up with their girlfriend. They'll have ChatGPT write a breakup for them.
Yeah.
It's like there's no soul.
And the scary thing is that you could train ChatGPT to learn your unique voice.
There's, like, no soul. There's no, like, there's, like, nothing to what people are writing these days. You could just tell it's just chat. Like, when people send me things, I'm like, yo, this is ChatGPT.
Yeah. Because we're not dumb. We know, like ChatGPT, like the dash that they use.
Yeah.
I
take those out when I send it to people. I'll like edit my shit.
Yeah.
I did a whole panel on the importance of bud tenders using ChatGPT.
Wow.
Yeah. And why bud tenders are like essential to the industry.
Why are bud tenders essential?
I say we because I'm a bud tender. I love selling weed. I just went back to my basics. We are the direct connect to the consumer. So the people that are buying your product, we are there. We are your spokesperson for the brand and the shop. So our knowledge with brands and our relationship with brands will also help with us selling. Because if we like your brand, we like your product, we'll suggest that more. We're essential to the businesses because if we're a good representation of the shop, we're friendly, we're knowledgeable, we're always looking out for the customers are going to come back. We're huge for the customers because they want to trust someone that they believe in to get the product. And to educate them and to let them know what everything's about. The PADs, the brand ambassadors, like we are the front line of this industry. Yeah. And we are that direct connect between brands, consumers, shops, consumers, all that shit. Wow. Yeah. And a lot of people don't really understand that or respect that.
They view bud tenders like, oh, they're...
lowest rung on the ladder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, we can destroy your business.
Totally.
Like if all bud tenders join together and be like, yo, this brand is trash. Like, don't buy this. Is the owner's a pedo or whatever. Like, and just spread it. Like, no one will buy your shit.
Wow. You guys have so much more power than people give you credit for.
That's why I feel like, they should get paid more.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, there should be like a class for bud tenders to take to like kind of if they have general knowledge and they get a certain
certification,
a certain amount, and then like their minimum is this, or you could just be like a bottom barrel, just like basic middle of the mall bud tender, and you just get minimum wage,
like a sommelier,
type of thing. Like a ganjier or whatever. But like about brands, about products, about the different chemical compounds, like THC, THCV, CBD, CBG, CBN, capsules, topicals, edibles, disposables, pre-rolls, infused, dabs, sugars, butters, rosin, press, like all that shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And as a consumer coming in, like they don't know a lot of shit about weed.
Totally.
The average customer doesn't know what they're looking for.
Exactly. And that more than, it's not like, it's not like a, customer service working at McDonald's. Like people know you're not like talking about like the quality of the beef or like why the Big Mac is different from the McDouble.
Yeah,
like,
they're just there to take your order. Just like at the mall, if you go to a store,
take it right.
Like pants are over there, shirts are over there, like undergarments are there. It's not like talking about the inseam or measurements or what fabric they're using or which factory it was made in. Like no one gives a fuck. But certain cannabis is grown, using living soil and the snow melt of Mount Shasta as the water. And it's like, there's like a bunch of little marketing buzzwords that a lot of brands or companies use to sell their product. And, as a bud tender, if you're familiar with like the brands and the products and what their selling points are, then it's a lot easier for you to educate the customers as well.
So true, because people walk into weed shops and not knowing what the hell they want.
It's overwhelming too sometimes, like especially if you're not like a regular smoker and it's just like something you're trying. You need help sleeping, and you heard gummies are good. Mm-hmm. So what gummies are you gonna get? Like, what are you looking for in the gummies? Yeah. How strong should the gummies be? What flavors do you like? Right. Do you want? Are you a vegetarian? Do you want like gummies with gelatin, or you want gummies with pectin?
You're almost like a health coach at that point. Like,
that's like I tried learning all that. Like with the drinks have a shitload of sugar. So if I know someone's like health conscious or care, I'm not going to suggest a beverage because it's like 40 grams of sugar in one cup. So I would give them a capsule or like something that has no calories or
Right.
topical or some shit.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
pretty much a doctor.
We're not really doctors because we're not like
I mean, you're not like certified. You didn't. But
I'm not
you
like,
have
you
the
know,
credentials. But
writing prescriptions and shit. But like if someone comes in with like a certain ailment and they need help, I'll be like, yo, so this is known to help with that. Like this strain is good for that. You know, oh, I want to be creative and giggly and happy. What works?
Yeah.
Well, this is usually what does that. I just want to chill and watch a movie, but not pass out. Like, all right, then this is what you want.
yeah, that knowledge is so invaluable to have because like I mean, there are people you have probably forgotten about weed more so than anyone will ever learn in their life. So.
I've spilt more weed than people have smoked in their life.
I'm sure.
I've probably dropped more weed than you have smoked in your whole life. You listening right now, yeah, you.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to release this, and I appreciate you. And also,
Sorry, I can't share it.
Shameless, yeah, it's all good. I was gonna say tell them where to find you, but or do you have anything to promote?
I mean, you could just type Adam Ill on like Google or whatever you use to search Adam Ill, ILL. You know, I still got my YouTube Getting High With. It's been age restricted and shadow banned and all that, so you might have to. It's just look for my logo. It's my face. If you know what my face is, it's like a smiling face with long hair. Yeah, so I still stream on Twitch every once in a while, the highest host. Just type, this is what you do. On any platform or any website, just either type in Adam Ill, highest host, or Getting High With, and I should show up.
Yes. And you got to go down the rabbit hole because he has interviewed some incredible people. And
But I've
just
dealt with a lot of obstacles with that. Like, a lot of my content has been taken offline, too.
yeah, it sucks.
Like, I did 3 years on Be Real TV, and all that shit is gone.
man.
Gone. I did 2
lame.
seasons with Exhibit. All that shit is gone.
Really?
Gone. I did
that
a
sucks.
shitload of stuff for High Times. High Times went bankrupt. Gone.
Oh man.
Like, so. Oh, that's another thing you told me about what to do. Make sure everything you do or everything you create, you keep. Regardless of who you shoot it for. Like, just get it on a hard drive, get it on a little stick, and save it.
Yeah.
Because there's so much shit that I've done that I wish I had. That I just, trusted the people I worked with that it was going to live forever.
Totally.
Yeah.
I've had that with a music video some like dude shot for me and he put it on his page and then he ended up going crazy his
Deleted
YouTube
everything,
page
yeah.
and now people hit me up all the time, where's that music video? And this was like a part of my life that like a moment of my life that like I wanted to look back on and show my so
I've had a lot of viral moments that, just are gone in the ether somewhere.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, Adam, thank you so much, brother. and a shameless plug, we have a new song coming out called I'm a Troll.
That's me.
It might already be out by the time we drop this, but go check that out. E-Money, Adam Ill on
Summer
Spotify. Hell yeah. It will be bigger than Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran and Iris by Goo Goo Dolls combined. I'm thinking billion streams in a week.
Damn.
No,
I'm down.
If we get 5,000 streams in the first month, I will be happy. That's like more than I normally get. But it's
do
not
that.
about streams. It's just
I will
about,
come out of social media retirement to promote it.
yes, that's what we need.
I will shamelessly hit all my viral friends and tell them to use it and play it. I will pay them for
Hell
us.
yeah.
No, I'm just playing. Thank you. I appreciate it, though.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.